He's back. Just in
Okay,
time for the
Lisa,
light.
we're on.
All right, great.
I'd like to make a motion that we come out of executive session.
I'll second.
Voice vote.
All right. Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Fellows.
Pass.
Counselor Keller.
Here.
Counselor LaRochelle.
Yes.
Counselor Lunt.
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Vote 7-0. And it's 7:09. 107. All right, next item. The next item is good news and recognition. Tonight we have a proclamation for the folks from Mike's Flooring. If we could have Mike and Anita Konopensky come forward for us. All right, if Harry here, and then the Konopenskys in between, and then here. Yep, just slide over a little bit this way. Yep, this way? All right, that's perfect. All right. Whereas Mike's Flooring has been a family-owned and operated business in the Lisbon community for 50 years, and whereas Mike and Anita Konopensky established Mike's Flooring in 1973 and have been located in Lisbon at 3 different locations over the years. And whereas the Konopenskys have served the Lisbon community and contributed to the business atmosphere by offering quality products and excellent customer service. And whereas the Konopenskys continued to serve generations of the Lisbon community as they watched the town grow and were able to be a contributor to the strength and growth of the town of Lisbon. And now, therefore, we, the Town Council of the Town of Lisbon, congratulate and thank Mike and Anita Konopensky for keeping Mike's Flooring operational for 50 years.
Should I photobomb? I'm going to get out of the picture, though, too.
There you go.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that, right?
Awesome. Awesome. 50 years. That's awesome.
Next item.
Next item, public hearings, we have none. So the next item will be audience participation and response for agenda items. At this time, those in the audience who wish to speak may approach the lectern to address items or issues that are on the agenda. Please use the microphone and state your name for the record.
Anybody in the audience have anything to say about any agenda items? Oh, I'm wrong. I'm public hearing. Sorry.
You're right.
I'm right, right?
Yeah. Can you pull your microphone a little closer to yourself, Harry? Thank you.
Okay. Oh, the bond. We're gonna move the bond out.
She'll do that.
Did you want to move
Yeah.
an item on the agenda?
Yes.
Of course.
Could we move the 2023-22 as our next item?
All right. We can do that. That's the order 2023-22, council order. Per Lisbon Ordinance Section 74-201E7C, abstentions. Where a councillor intends to abstain from participation and voting on a particular item, they should advise the other councillors present as soon as that item is placed on the floor of their intent not to participate and to abstain from voting and the reasons that the abstention is required. So Order 2023-22 is authorization for Water Department bond.
Reading.
Okay?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yes.
You gotta read the full.
There's some additional
Okay.
wording, I think.
She's got it.
So, this order will be to authorize the finance director to make an application with the Maine Municipal Bond Bank on behalf of the Water Department for a $1.5 million infrastructure bond as part of the Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund program, with the understanding that issuance of the bond will not be authorized unless and until the council approves a bond authorization order approving the terms and issuance of the bonds. The town's bond council will be involved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I'm not sure would it be practical to actually have someone from the water department just describe the bond, or what's going to be in the process of it, or the work being done? I'm not sure if they want to present it all. That
Anybody from the water department want to address what the bond will be for? State your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Chuck Harrison, the General Manager for the Water Department. This bond will help continue the 125 project, along with some of the projects that were slated to be done in the 22 bond, continuation of main water improvements, valves, piping, to help further the Water Department's aging infrastructure.
Okay. Any questions?
Actually, I'm offset at this point in time. Yep.
Thank you. No more discussion? Have a vote?
This will be a roll call vote. Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Fellows.
Yes.
Counselor Keller.
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle.
Yes.
Counselor Lunt.
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. The order passed. Vote 7-0. And return to the agenda order.
Yes.
All right. Next item is the consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered routine and will be considered for adoption by one motion with no separate discussion unless a counselor requests an item be removed. Any counselor wishing to remove an item may do so now. Seeing none, Order 2023-21 is to approve the municipal accounts payable warrants, $299,719.41. Municipal payroll warrants, $263,025.03. School accounts payable warrants, $120,385.07. School payroll warrants, $808,269.73. The minutes of January 3rd and January 17th. And to approve the road name request of Fenway Drive, which is the first choice, off Mill Street.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I think the only item that would require discussion might be the road name request.
That's the first one. I think that's one they ought to go with, right?
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I like
Yeah.
it.
That'd be
Fenway.
Okay,
Fenway and
Great
Lisbon.
choice.
all right.
Ready for a vote?
Okay. Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Fellows. Yes. Counselor Keller.
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle.
Yes.
Counselor Lunt.
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud.
Yes.
We have 7 yeas, 0 nays. The order passed. Vote 7-0.
Next item.
Next item is to continue the council orders, resolutions, and ordinances. Ordinance 2023-23, and that's a correction. I think on the agenda it originally said it was an order, but it is an ordinance. Amendments to Division 5 sign ordinance. This is a first reading.
Is there a
I'll make a
motion?
motion for discussion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Actually, it's a lot of work's gone into this, so I think
Yeah.
as we go forward, unless there's something that's changed, but I think reading through it, it seems pretty much what we've spent a lot of time and a lot of resources on. So
Yeah, it's all blurred together at this point because there were a lot
Right.
of workshops that went into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Home stretch.
Yes. Call for a vote?
Okay. Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Fellows. Yes. Counselor Keller.
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle.
yes.
Counselor Lunt.
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed. Vote 7-0.
Mr. Chair,
Sir?
if there's nothing else for the water department folks, then I'm not sure if you want to release them or give them an opportunity to leave unless they want to stay.
They're welcome to leave if they choose to.
Yeah,
leave.
I'm not sure if you want to stay for the rest of the meeting or not, but,
Same thing with
I
the
know you don't want to
flooring.
drive, so I tried to bump you in front.
yeah. Totally your call.
Take care.
Night.
Thank you.
I didn't know if they had audience participation. I didn't know.
I wasn't sure, but either way, sometimes you feel kind of obligated to wait till the meeting stops, so.
I typically do.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Great.
Continue.
Okay. Order 2023-24 to authorize the town manager to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Police Sergeants Union.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion for discussion?
Second?
Sure. So this is just an MOA to increase bereavement leave for up to 5 days for the death of a spouse, child, stepchild, mother, father, brother, sister, and then I think to add 3 days bereavement leave following the death of a grandparent, mother-in-law, or father-in-law, and 1 day of bereavement leave for an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, grandchild. So it's just to update the bereavement leave policy for the police union, and then as we do the personnel policies, we'll carry
Merge
that.
that in?
Yeah.
That'd be my question, yep.
Very good. Any more discussion? For a vote?
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows? Yes. Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
That's 7 yeas, 0 nays. The order passed. Vote 7-0. Next, we have Order 2023-25, authorization to initiate a land use complaint.
Make a motion for discussion?
Second.
All right, so this one is to authorize the code enforcement officer and the town attorney to initiate a land use complaint pursuant to Rule 80K of the Bain Rules of Civil Procedure against 142 Ridge Road. Some of the history here, it was former, I don't know how much detail you want to get into for...
No, as long as we have a basic idea of where we're
Yeah,
going with
it was formerly a lawnmower repair business, closed 20 years ago. Notice of violation was issued in December of 2021. They received a warning letter from our attorney in October. No response. All the timeframes have passed, and the next step would be to take them to court. So, asking for authorization to allow the code enforcement officer and the town attorney to do so.
Where's the property?
142 Ridge Road. It was Niezal's, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Has Nizal been, I mean, I imagine he's been contacted a number of times to clean it up.
Yeah, so the notice of violation was December of 2021. He received another warning this past October, and all the time frames that they were made aware of have passed, so this is the last step in the process.
He has been removing scrap. Slow, but he has been removing it. I go by there and
Seems to be adding stuff too as he takes
yeah,
it away.
it's really weird. There's a flatbed that shows up, takes 20, and then the next day there's
20 more.
20. So I'm not sure what he's got going on, but
I think
Okay.
there's a lot of vehicles parked right on the side of the road there, and I think it's very dangerous to have somebody operating a business in the right of way of the road on Route 9. There's some high-speed traffic at this point that somebody's going to get killed there.
Yeah. I think Al Smith has been involved in that too. I mean, I think he's been kind of the one that's actually doing a lot of the selling and all that stuff. So, but I know he knows about it too, and Al's been trying to work with the courts. There's a lot of other issues going on in the background, but we're all set to go forward with this, so we should take care of it. No more discussion? Ready for a vote?
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. The order passed 7-0. And we have Order 2023-26 to authorize the town manager to apply for and accept the FEMA BRIC grant.
Make a motion for discussion?
Sure. So,
I'll second.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
That was a tie.
Yeah, there you go. The race.
Yeah, so I just my mistake. I should have come to you first before applying for the grant. So I'm asking for permission to continue moving forward with it. This is to go to FEMA through the BRIC grant program to get a 75-25 match up to a 90-10 match to replace a generator that we've already scheduled to replace through our capital improvement budget. So we would just be offsetting the cost if we are awarded the grant sometime in the summer. So there was a memo that was attached with it, but if you have any questions, feel free to answer it.
Good. Any more discussion? Ready for a vote?
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor Larishel?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed, vote 7-0. Next item is other business. First is council committee reports.
These still don't seem to be corrected yet from what they were before. They were at one point in
I've
time.
I've corrected this like 100 times.
Yeah. It's back to what they were last year, that's all.
I think it's still wrong.
We know who we are.
We'll go back in.
Yeah, it's all good.
We'll go back in.
Yeah.
So
School committee is,
Mark and I and school committee met last night and primarily discussed their budget. It looks like they will come in under their budget.
Nice. Nice
good.
job.
that's good. Planning board? Don?
Planning board, I believe, is meeting tonight, and again Thursday night, because of a snafu somewhere. But anyway, they're meeting both nights, and there's a hearing, regarding the, Smith property up on, Route 196. Yeah, that's it. That's what I have.
Lisbon Development Committee? I don't know who that is anymore.
I think
Is
that's
that
me,
you?
but I haven't had a chance to attend the meeting yet. So.
Ross is here if you'd like to just have him do a personal update, possibly if the chair allows.
Happy to do that.
Tomorrow, too.
Yeah, we are meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll be discussing taking over improvements of the Warumbo parking lot as a public lot and addressing the intersection for pedestrian traffic. And also taking the next step towards the abandoned property discussion. And we'll be working on that and hopefully connecting with the businesses that allow us to do that. That's all we got.
Very good.
Thank you.
Conservation Commission, I was, last meeting, I had spoken briefly on the meeting that I had there and had forgotten about some of the things that they had done, so I want to go over those today, if you'll indulge me. One of the issues that came up was increasing involvement with business vendors and volunteers with the Moxie Group and the Green Thumb Gang. Apparently that's still ongoing. Created a dog-friendly park on Summer Street and developed signage along with parking, and they're looking at summer of this year of trying to make that possible. Install Miller Trail fencing, making erosion control a priority. That's budgeted. It said it was budgeted for 2021, so I'm not sure where that is now, but that's ongoing. Beaver Park Forestry Plan. That's ongoing. Develop 2021 invasive species program to update that. That's also ongoing. Research disc golf course options at Beaver Park. They're working with a company about harvesting some trees in there to make some open space. Create a digital map of all walking trails. They're looking at completion in the summer, and they need some special software to try to do those drawings. Build a pole barn for storage shelter at Beaver Park. That's probably the summer of 2023. The Graziano Square gazebo, because that's finished. wayfinding signs along 196 for walking path gateways and parking areas. That's in the works. Hire a full-time maintenance person. That's been completed. Grade the back of Mary T. Morris to make some flooding for ice. I see that that's been completed, and I've heard some pretty good comments about the ice there. Move the Moxie Car Show to Beaver Park. That's been completed. And improve the fitness rooms, paint, carpet, and some shelving, and that's in the works also. So I had those at the last meeting and forgot I had taken a photo of them and forgot to put them out. So that's what's going on with them. Parks and Recreation.
Attended the meeting last night. Good meeting. There was some good discussion. One of the things that I think they're working on right now is when the rec department was originally initiated back in the early 70s, when this was written up, the form of government was a little bit different, and they had actually set the committee as actually being an oversight committee, meaning that they would actually oversee the budget, work with hiring department staff, and pretty much all the operations of the recreation department were actually run through the committee. They're just trying to reevaluate that now to see if that needs to be just updated to, now we have a council form of government. There's a lot of different things in place, so I think the committee's just trying to figure out what their structure ought to be and what their role ought to be, and I think they actually have some good people working on it, so I think it's just a work in progress. As one of my goals for this year was the idea of just look at all the committees and figure out where they're at and just make sure they're all relevant. And some of the stuff has just gone back a long ways and just needs to be revamped a little bit. So I think they're working on it, and I think the rec committee is working fine. I think just a matter of if there's things that need to be changed on paper, let's change them to make sure it reflect what things are today. That's all.
Good. Budget Committee?
Well, they're not meeting, so I don't know if you've heard anything else.
Yeah, I haven't been back to a county meeting, a regular meeting yet, but yeah, the Budget Committee's not meeting, so. Library Board?
The children's room has been closed again due to water leakage, and Servpro came in and did a great job cleaning up. The children's librarian managed to go up and downstairs to bring kids what they wanted because they couldn't go downstairs. They also had to close because of the recent fire near. The positive thing for people who like puzzles, apparently there's just been a good shipment of 10,000-piece puzzles, I believe. So
Good Lord.
there's lots of them. And they're working on the summer reading program. The theme is all together now, which is, they're not real fond of the supporting materials. So they've come up with collaboration with other Lisbons nationwide, and they'll do some trivia work around that. I mean, there's a Lisbon, Iowa, Lisbon, Ohio, Lisbon's all over the place. So we'll be hearing more about that. And that's your library.
The question on the water, was that water intrusion that got into it, or is it?
It's been a
within
combination
itself?
of issues. Some of it was related to the construction, but this last incident was, I believe, ice kind of jammed up the storm drain, and it had gone in and over the step and into the basement. I actually have a structural engineer coming out on Monday just to make sure there's no actual damage to the building from the construction, because I don't think that's actually been evaluated yet, but we've started to see water come in scenarios where we typically haven't in the last 30 years, so it's been an ongoing issue. But this was not related to the same flooding that they had over the summer. This was because of the ice building up. But yeah, it's been quite a saga over at the library with the water issues.
How big was the puzzle?
10,000 pieces, I think.
I
think
I
it
keep
is.
my wife
Or
quiet for a
maybe
long
it's
time.
maybe it's only 1,000.
That would keep her
I may
quiet
be
for a long time.
misrepresenting.
No, I'm going to get a
I
couple
can
of
do
those.
1,000 piece in an afternoon.
Water Commission, I guess we kind of beat that one around.
Yes. Yeah, for those of members of the public that don't know, the Water Commission will meet tomorrow night at 5 p.m. in the town office, or next to the town office in the training room. And at 6 p.m., there's a hearing in the town office, in the council's room, for rate changes, rate increases that are about to be submitted to the PUC after the hearing.
Ross,
Good.
you sure?
I have a 6 o'clock meeting tomorrow night, but it's in the training room, so I just want to make sure. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5 p.m. is in training room, right?
So 5 p.m. Was going to be the training room, but there was a conflict. So 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. will both be in the council chamber so that the LDC can have their regular meeting in the training room. It's just a change of rooms. It's all still at the town hall.
You won't be at either one, Don, so.
Yeah.
Finance Committee.
We haven't met.
Got one coming up.
Yeah.
An email going out.
Yeah, great.
Next.
Next item, council goals for 2023.
Okay, you want to tell us what they are?
I think I left it in my office.
Okay, you want to?
Town managers report.
You
Why
want to
don't
go
you do
get
the
them, or
town-
do you want to?
No, I'll let him do the town manager's report, and I'll go get them.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Town manager's report.
So just a couple things. As you know, we went out to bid for the Village Street resurfacing earlier this past year. Bids came in pretty high, so we were going to rebid in the spring. We're ready to do that. Oliver & Associates is going to prep the RFP, and we'll be rebidding the work. We had a loader go down a week or two ago. The brakes need to be serviced, and the repair is going to cost more than the loader, so Randy's been trying to find a way to get through this winter with the loader, so we're going to be leasing one through the end of the winter, and that will go towards the purchase price, and we're hoping in the CIP program to replace that loader in the upcoming budget. So either way, we're going to have kind of a net savings, because once we auction the old loader, it'll at least cover the lease from here on out, and then at least get a discount on the loader if we go to purchase it in the next budget. We had an issue over the weekend with the cold weather. Our sprinkler system, fire chief was called Saturday morning. There was an alarm on the, I don't know how much into detail you want me to go into sprinkler systems, but there was an alarm on the low high pressure system. The sprinkler system was frozen. We had a tech come out, and he advised that the system had gotten charged. They placed some heaters to thaw it out. We detected a leak on Monday, so the sprinkler company came back to assess, and they're investigating the leak. The issue is in the piping with the dry system in the attic. So this is a 21-foot piece of pipe that was put in before you guys put the roof on this building. So it's going to be an interesting repair, but we have put a Band-Aid on it for now to get us by, but that's something we're looking at fixing until we find a more permanent fix. But other than that, that's all I have for the town manager's report.
Need to go about another 5 minutes.
I could.
Well,
just
in the
read-
meantime, if you're done, the good news and recognition, I think we kind of slid by that kind of quick, and I had a couple of things that I can bring now. One I wanted to mention was in the main town and city, I noticed in reading, because I read all of these, and there was a photograph of our own Ross Cunningham in
Sure you
there.
didn't just look at the picture.
No, and that was for the community residence partnership that we had put in for, that he put in for Rumbo, the $50,000 that was approved. So, good job on that for making the paper. It was, yeah, I won't tell you where I was reading it, but that's okay. I also want to mention that the fire department did an outstanding job on the Union Street fire under really, really difficult. I can't imagine, and I don't remember when our department had a structure fire in temperatures that they experienced for that fire. So kudos to them. They did a great job. Go ahead.
Ma- oh,
Yes, please.
I just want to tag on to that, and not only congratulations and thank you to the fire department, but if you didn't notice, several businesses in town, Little River Coffee and several other businesses stepped up and made donations and have given part of their sales to the funds to recover. And Positive Change Lisbon and the rec department are having a spaghetti dinner Saturday night to raise more money. So I just want to thank all of those involved for rallying together.
And I wanted to, I'm glad you came back to the good news and recognition, because I also wanted to say just seeing the way the community came together just in a moment's notice was really very heartwarming and made me very proud to be a Lisbon resident.
Yeah, it was really overwhelming.
Yeah, it was-
And it's ongoing, too, by the way.
Mhm.
They're still taking donations up on Enterprise Street.
Oh,
And
yeah, and Sippy Cup is taking donations too
Yep.
for people who want to buy kids' clothes, so you can go, you can go to Sippy Cup and you can donate for clothing for the kids.
Okay.
and also,
Do I need a copy?
I've got yours right here.
Here. One of
the high school cheerleading team won NBC's first place and won regionals first place, and I think they go to states. I want to say next week, but I'm not positive. So, great job, girls, for
I didn't-
mine today.
your work.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I emailed to him. Maybe it was the whole business.
Is it?
It's 2 pages.
Okay. They're really big, which is good. I can see.
I do that on purpose for myself, and I forgot to make it small. So.
Both pages? Yep, perfect. All right, then. I think we're covered.
Okay, do we want to go over these, or do we just want to, Fern, what do you think? Do we just keep them and then?
I think it's
maybe-
totally up to you. I mean, I think it's a good,
Yeah, it's a lot here, so.
If you take a look at them, I noticed just putting them together, I noticed that a lot of counselors have similar goals.
Yeah, some of them need to be
Yeah.
combined, yeah.
And Counselor Kane, I'm sorry, I didn't see your email earlier today, but she has them too, so everybody has goals on this list.
So we have goals. Yeah.
Yay!
2 pages.
I'll email it to you, Dawn.
Pages worth.
We have goals.
May I suggest we
I'll email you a copy.
go over them at some point somehow and consolidate and make it into a more
yeah, I would think.
cohesive list?
Yes.
I think that'd be good, especially for our manager, so he actually has more of a
Yeah.
bullet point.
As a goal.
And I'm not sure, I mean, Harry's goal for the budget, I mean, I think we are, I'm not sure if it's even realistic to actually, no, just teasing.
I think that's a good goal. I think we could reduce the mill rate by 1/2 to 1 mil. I
Mr.
think
Chairman,
That's pretty cool.
if you'd like, if you would like to meet with me, I can go over what you'd like to do with the goals, and I can put something together with you.
I will.
Okay.
Tune him in.
I will tune them in. Okay, I think we can go to next item.
Next item is, so you already did town manager's report, well, right, okay. So the next item are appointments. First, we have Order 2023-27 to appoint Assistant Town Manager Melanie Alexander as tax collector.
I make that motion.
Second?
Voice vote?
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Okay, so the vote was 7-0. And the next item is Order 2023-27 to appoint Richard Netto to the Conservation Commission.
I make that motion.
Second.
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. The vote's 7-0. And Mr. Neto is here this evening in case you have any questions for him.
Vicki, what are you going to do for us on the Conservation Commission? Come on up, come on up.
Well, my name's Richard Nettle, and what I would like to do, one of the things I'd like to do, okay, Mark and I talked about this, and this, in fact, there's a couple issues with this. First of all, on Summer Street, we call it Summer Street Park, and what we talked about was renaming that Little River Park, which would, you know, instead of buttering and everything, it's like Beaver Park, because you used to have beavers up there, like you said. And the other issue I had with him, we got street, not path names up there, like Rumble and stuff up there, but then we still have that little thing up there, Black Trail, Red Trail, Green Trail. Let's get rid of that part over there and keep these new path names, get rid of all that stuff. I would also like to do this too. Get in there, see if we can do something to fix up the back in there. I'm not talking about Intervale, but fix that up so that, you know, if guys want to go in there and fish, they can go in there and fish. You know, clean out what we can. You don't want it to go in the river because we don't need any problems there, environmental. But that was one thing I was thinking about, because we got a lot of other things, issues there in Beaver Park. I had some time off. I've gone in this disease that I have, and a lot of things I thought what might happen have not thought happen. So what I you know, kind of like a learning thing with it, and that's why I come back, because I was also asked by Mark to come back when I was signing up for the gym over there, because I want to do a little working out, you know, try to build myself up a little bit. Okay. I mean, I'm too old now to really do that. I can't do no squats
get
with
like this.
200 pounds like I used to be able to do when I was 17. I'm 73 now, but
All right, thank
Okay.
you, Dickie.
Thank you, sir.
Next item is Councilor Communications.
I think you summed it all up tonight.
Anybody?
I just,
Dawn?
I had, for those, yeah, sorry. For those of you who don't know, I was able to connect with part of Mark's tour group that is over here in Hawaii at this time. There are 50 Lisbon residents, I think the residents, well, there are 50 people anyway, that had landed in Oahu last week. They are on their way to Maui, or they were in Maui for 2 nights, and now they're on the Big Island. And I guess they come back here in about a week. So they seem to all be in great spirits and having a good time. They'll probably have lots of stories to share with you guys when they come back.
That's great news.
Mr. Chair, may I just ask, I mean, the warming center, I heard that it was used quite a bit in the town office. Did that actually go over pretty well, or is there any concerns or that need to be addressed as time goes on?
Nothing we could have planned for. There was some issues with the heat where some of the zones went down, but luckily the portion of the building we used for the warming center still functioned while we were waiting for the HVAC systems to kind of be repaired.
That's important, right?
Yeah, so the families that were displaced from the fire, you know, they were here, and luckily the heat was working when they were here, but they were utilized by the folks from the fire over on Union Street.
Nice. I know we do advertise it, so just curious to see if it was used more. So good, thank you.
And the county, I think, paid 200 and some thousand to do a warming center. I remember now where it was, but it's in my notes. But yeah, they just paid big bucks to open up a warming center. So it's good to have it here for people to use. And if there's nothing else, next item.
Next item is audience participation and response for new items. At this time, those in the audience who wish to speak may approach the lectern to address items or issues that are not on the agenda. Please use the microphone and state your name for the record.
Come on up. Anybody? There being none, anybody have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
I'll second that.
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, vote 7-0. Meeting's adjourned.
The light's still on.
See you next time.